to order, 7:35 PM, Wednesday, January 17th.
Councilman Selby,
Present.
Councilman Karkini,
Present.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir, you have the floor. Thank you.
Father, we thank thee that you are the governor of the nations and your son is the king. Thank you for human government. Pray, Lord, that you would give our leaders wisdom. Thank you for this town. Pray that you would surround it with your protection and all of its activities, especially, Lord, during the storm. Grant safety, especially for our emergency personnel and troopers and sheriffs. Oh, Lord, help us all to be observant and helpful during this season. Thank you for this night. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, tonight under our preliminary matters, we have no other preliminary matters, which is item number 4. So moving along to regular business, item number 1 is the correction and adoption of the minutes from the January 3rd, 2024 board meeting. Councilman Karkini, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I've reviewed the minutes and I see no errors or omissions. I make a motion that we adopt them as written.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karkini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Abstain.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 2 under our regular business is the consideration of all fund bills. Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that in tonight?
Hey, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The journal number PA 4160, the A Fund Credit Amazon, and journal number AP 416, all total payables due by the amount of $326,334.34. I make a motion that we approve.
I second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karkini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
It's a cold weather, Kelly.
Yes. Brain freeze.
Yes, yes. All right, so item number 3 is our correspondence. We have 10 items. All have been received and filed in the town clerk's office, and they are as follows. Item 1 is the dog control officer report for December 2023. Item 2 is dog seizure and disposition record for 2023. Item 3 is the town clerk's monthly report for December 2023. Item number 4 is the town clerk's 2023 annual report. Item 5 is the Community Development Block Grant Report dated April 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Item 6 is a compliance training letter for outstanding training requirements for the town. Item 7 is a Department of Environment and Planning Division of Sewage Management, the requirement of Supervisor Keating to the 2020 and the 2024 meeting schedule. Item 8 is the Northeast South Towns or NEST Solid Waste Management Board agenda for January 4th, 2024, and the meeting minutes dated November 2nd, 2023. Item 9 is a letter from Assemblyman David DiPietro to the town board. And item 10 is a letter from ASI or Arts Services Incorporated from Holly Grant. Again, all have been received and filed in the town clerk's office. Moving on to new business, item number 1 is requests from the floor. If anyone, since we have a big audience tonight, if anyone would like to come up to the microphone, make any comments, remarks. I know about the trash. Please state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes each. Yes, sir.
Is it just appropriate to ask what's going to happen to the old funeral home?
That's a fair question. I wish I had a great answer for you. So the Wirtz Funeral Home has been a topic of discussion for many years, as we all know in our community. It is still, to my understanding, it is still a part of the trust or the estate, and there are some legal matters going on there. There is, as some community members might realize, there's a back tax that's owed. There's a lot going on down I wish it wasn't, because as we all know, there's, it's something that needs to be taken care of. Code enforcement has been to the property a couple of times, as well as some of our first responders. The last time that happened, the structure at that time was deemed as safe. It was boarded up to make sure that it was, we keep any their animals or people from entering. I'm trying to think what else I have for you off the top of my head here, but I know the New York State Funeral Director Association. This goes back almost, I think, 5 years, maybe even as far as 6. I think it might have been my first year as supervisor. But the New York State Funeral Director Association had some concerns with what may or may not still be inside the structure. That was investigated, and by them it was deemed to also be safe. Some of the, I guess I'll just toss it on the record, why not? The embalming fluids and other things that were there that were alleged to possibly be, a possibly hazard to public safety, health, and welfare. Those were all not found, at least at that time. So.
Concerned obviously about the eyesore.
Yes, yeah. I've worked with County Clerk Mickey Kearns. Unfortunately, this is another avenue we've tried to pursue. County Clerk Kearns has the zombie property initiative. That's more of like a back tax foreclosure. There's very specific criteria. Unfortunately, that parcel does not fit into that criteria. Also, to make that list, the county executive would also need to essentially deem that as a foreclosure type property. So we do receive information on like the back taxes and all, just has to get over that threshold to officially allow us to take some action on there. Because I'll chalk it up to a tertiary option would be that the town code enforcement officer deems the words property as a unsafe dwelling or structure. We have public hearings and other things, and we could potentially issue a demolition permit. But again, because there's a trust and litigation that is still going on in the background, that's kind of what's gumming up the gears, so to speak, of moving things along.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Okay, no comment. The floor is closed. All right, item number 2 is a resolution 2024-17 adopting a revised schedule of fees submitted by our code enforcement officer. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure, Supervisor. I make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-17, which is adopting revised schedule of fees. Whereby as the town code enforcement officer has reviewed the town's fees and has recommended the adoption of a revised schedule, I make a motion to accept this resolution as written.
Second?
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 3 is a resolution 2024-18. With some conversation we had downstairs, I'd like to make a motion to table that resolution, and that was in regards to repairing, coating, and striping of the sports courts, also known as our tennis courts and basketball courts.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 4 is the Association of Towns 2024 Annual Training Attendance Request by Thomas Murphy, Town Code Enforcement Officer. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item?
Yes, we have a request from our town enforcement officer attending the Association of Towns for 2024, which takes place in New York City from February 18th through 21st. Given the importance of this conference and the extensive training that he is going to be learning and continuing to learn, I'd like to make a motion to approve him going on to this conference.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item 5 tonight under new business is approval for new members for Patchen Volunteer Fire Company. We have Dylan C. as in Charlie Hart, Garrett S. as in Sam DeSarno, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name correctly, and also Joseph T. Patterson. And Councilman Curtis, would you like to take that item?
It would be my honor. Thank you, Supervisor Keating. The town received a letter from Patchen Chief Dave Appa requesting that 3 individuals be voted in to begin fire service for the Patchen Fire Company. They have all passed their arson, sex offender background checks, and their DMV checks. And I understand that they also were able to get their physicals rushed right through too. So it's my honor to make a motion to appoint Dylan Christopher Hart, Garrett Scott DeSarno, Joseph T. Patterson, to begin active duty with the Patchen Fire Company.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving along, we're now on to our old business. The first item under old business is Resolution 2024-03, Attorney for the Town. And Councilwoman Lukashek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. So this was tabled last time, and we are glad to have it back on our agenda. This is to extend the town's contract with Sean W. Costello Esquire and Rupp Volksgraf,
False-Craft.
thank you, LLC, on a month-to-month basis with rates held firm through December 31st, 2025, by executing this proposal. Sean will continue to be the duly designated attorney for the town of Boston, and shall, in addition to any contractually specified duties, perform those specific tasks and duties as are required of the town attorney pursuant to the Town of Boston Code. I make a motion, we approve resolution number 2024-03.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 2 under our old business is Resolution 2024-16, awarding a bid for Town Hall entry improvements. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Supervisor, thank you. We received 5 bids for the entry to Town Hall that needs desperate repair and improvements. That resolution 2024-16, the awarded bid is going to go to Double A Services for a total of $46,525. I make a motion to accept this resolution for that bid.
I'll second.
You did first.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that is all of our old business. On to reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. As we all know, it's been a busy week around here in the highway department for the last week, the windstorms last Wednesday, and then all the snow for the weekend and stuff, but, you guys did a great job. There's gonna be plenty of brush to chip this spring, I can see that coming, there's a lot of trees down in people's yards, but it's what it is. You get a windstorm, trees come down, power lines come down, but all in all, things went pretty smooth, so that's all I have tonight.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Selby, you have the floor.
I have no report for tonight.
Okay. Councilman Karakini, you have the floor.
Thank you Supervisor Keating. I'd like to take a moment to express my appreciation to the Town of Boston Highway Department for quickly removing down trees in the roads last week. I received quite a few calls about that, and I'm happy to report that, those trees were removed and the roadway cleared rather quickly, so thank you to you and your staff. A note to residents. I received a call last week from a gentleman that experienced an extended amount of time with power loss as a result of, trees going down on it. I know this firsthand. It's expensive to remove trees, but I'd like to remind all the residents that the trees that are on your property, if they're in jeopardy of falling on a power line, it's your responsibility to trim them or remove them if they're diseased and dead. Because what we had last week on one particular street was a tree went down on that power, line that fed that entire neighborhood, and they experienced an extended amount of power loss as a result of that. So I'd just like to take a moment to remind everybody that, the right-of-way is one thing, but when your trees are threatening the power line of your friends and neighbors, it is your responsibility, and I do know firsthand it's very expensive to do those things, but, as a result, it makes us all better. And I would like to take a moment to thank Madam Clerk and her staff, as well as Supervisor Keating and his staff for, accelerating the addition to the agenda tonight of the Patchen Volunteer Fire men that are going to begin service. As we all know, volunteerism is at an all-time low, and I appreciate it. There was an issue with the email. We didn't get proper notification in time, but I know that you guys all hustled to get that through, and I just wanted to take a moment and express my appreciation for that, and that's all I have tonight.
Yeah, most welcome. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The planning board is scheduled to have its next monthly meeting on February 13th. Travel safely, follow the bans. Just saying. It's clear and sunny here, so we need the snow. Give it to us.
No.
That's all I have.
All right. Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'd like to apologize to the town board for missing the last extensive reorganization meeting. I apologize, but I picked up COVID, lucky me, over the New Year holiday, so that put me down and out for about a week. But that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating, for that. Thank you. The Association of Towns, I asked if I could please read the letter that I have here. Dear Town Clerk, the 2024 Training School and Annual Meeting of this association will be held at the New York Marriott Marquis, February 18th to 21st, 2024. This is a training session for town officials. The following is a brief outline of events: informational hearings Sunday afternoon, February 18th, general opening session Monday morning, February 19th, group sessions for various categories of town officers and special programs follow the opening session, as will be set forth in a printed program. This is offered to town board members, highway and public works, town clerks, tax collecting officers, fiscal officers, planning and zoning officials, and town attorneys. Breakfast with the association is Tuesday morning, February 20th, and the annual business session for the official delegates Wednesday morning, February 21st. That is the approval that was given for Supervisor Keating and Allison Kosher at the last town board meeting, and Code Enforcement Officer Murphy this evening. And I just wanted to let the residents know that Waste Management did send out the updated 2024 calendar schedule info, so we all should be getting this shortly at our homes. They also sent us 200 copies. So Margaret did put those out on the table in the foyer, so please help yourself to those. There's a lot of useful information. Supervisor's office and my office made some suggestions to them this year, so hopefully these suggestions that made it into the pamphlet will be a little bit more helpful. Also, to the residents, I know Supervisor Keating is going to report on the service delay this week. I just wanted to make note that even if the town of Boston is enjoying beautiful sunny weather, where we only received maybe a foot of snow, that is not the situation of the other towns. And the other towns is where the workers come from, where Waste Management is, their main office is in West Seneca, and all of us have heard they've received about 60 inches of snow. So please keep that in mind. I know this, not having garbage service this week or having it delayed has certainly caused us a lot of inconvenience, but just a reminder, keep that into perspective of what is going on in other locations of Erie County. Certainly call my office if you want to have an update on the schedule. I get my updates from Supervisor Keating, he'll speak more on that. But you can also call Waste Management directly. Their service representatives should have the same information that we have. And if you don't find that that is helpful, certainly call my office. Thank you, that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. All right, and as you can see me looking at my phone, I want to make sure what I'm providing tonight in my report is accurate and updated. So I'll start off with the trash first and then move into the travel ban. But for the record, it is very difficult. We don't have a good way to communicate to the public, sadly, of the solid waste changes. The town clerks, not only just the town clerk, but her and her staff has spent a lot of time on the phone, as has my office. I know Councilman Sully's been copied on quite a few of the emails as well. There's been literally hours worth of work to try to logistically plan for restructuring the solid waste I understand people are upset that it's changing, the norm, if you will. So the original plan was that everything would be pushed out one day. So if your trash collection was on Monday, it would get pushed to Tuesday and so forth throughout the week. Well, then Mother Nature decided, throw us another curveball, another storm. Travel ban still remained. The 219 still remains closed under the DOT authority. And so as we have it right now, the solid waste update that was posted to social media and the town website, and again, I wish I had a better way to communicate this with all residents in the town. But with everything that's going on, the biggest change is for Wednesday residential customers. If your regular collection is on a Wednesday, sadly, it will not be picked up this week. It'll be extended one whole week until next week. So that will be solid waste and recycling next week. Plan on seeing the old solid waste trucks, not the ones with the mechanical arm. They're gonna have the rear mount ones. It's gonna be a 2-team crew, driver, person in the back, because we anticipate additional solid waste not fitting inside the carts. There is no charge to Wednesday residential customers only. So if you have an extra bag, an extra 3 or 4 bags, neatly tie them up, keep them out of the snowbank, put them alongside the trash can, they will be collected, as will your recycling. For all other days of the week, Monday collection, which was pushed to Tuesday, due to the snow on the roads, actually all roads, throughout the area, at least reporting from Waste Management, they took all of their trucks off the roads, not only just in Boston, but other communities. That affected approximately 200 parcels here in the town of Boston alone. So those 200 parcels that were missed for solid waste and recycling will be collected tomorrow, which is Thursday. And again, so moving along, if you have a Tuesday regular collection day, that is also going to be moved to tomorrow, Thursday. And then if you have a regular Thursday collection, it's going to be moved to Friday. We did try to, I made some phone calls with Waste Management. That was actually a big part of the time. I was trying to get either a Friday or a Saturday collection. But again, unfortunately, as the town clerk stated, there's a big swath of area that still at this hour remains under travel bans while they're trying to remove 5, 6, and possibly even more feet of snow as we look at another foot to 2 feet of snow tonight in some of these intense bans with 1 to 2 inches of snow, which is why all the schools were closed for tomorrow. So anyway, that is solid waste. If there's any other updates, I'll be sure to share that information on the town social media and town website, or feel free to call the town hall. But as of 5 o'clock today, again, I was just checking the county executive's, his Facebook page. As of right now, North Tonawanda, Cheektowaga, Lancaster, Lackawanna, West Seneca, Hamburg, and Orchard Park all have travel bans. Again, they have a sizable amount of snow. So while we were able to put on sunglasses and enjoy sunny blue skies today, which is not always the case here in Boston, as we all know, those folks were getting hit pretty hard. Even our town attorney, who's not here tonight, it's because the 219 shut down, and he would be technically traveling through travel ban areas. On the note of travel bans, I received a few calls on this. Only Tier 1 essential workers, as defined by the United States Homeland Security, are permitted on roads. Tier 1 workers are police, fire, EMS, public works, which is your highway crews, utility workers, and those required for healthcare facility operations. It is illegal for an employer to require their employees show up for work, which is why you also see our local TOPS, AKA Be Quick, for those of us that are old school. They shut down early today, and that is part of the reason why, with these bans and other things that are there, the staff cannot get in. I wish it was easier for all of us, but sometimes you just have to adapt and persevere through these situations. But that's what's going on. I did receive a call from a resident who was quite upset because I was allegedly enforcing. I said, I don't enforce the bans. I'm a governing body, not an authority body. It's a free country. If you want to go out behind the wheel of your vehicle, God bless you. Good luck. Because if the law enforcement agent who pulls you over, they have 2 options. One, hey, there's a travel ban, you really should go home. Option B is, we're going to cite you, we're going to write you a ticket. It's a misdemeanor because there's a state of emergency that's in effect to then institute a travel ban. It could be up to 15 days in jail and up to $2,500 fine. That's the worst case scenario. So again, if there are those that don't want to adhere to the travel ban, it's a free country, do what you want. But just like travel, and a sunny, beautiful day in Boston, if it's posted at 40, you do 55, you're going to probably get a ticket. So there's the comparison. And a lot of these travel bans really are to help our public works professionals out there to keep the roads clear. It's also to help our first responders, whether it be fire, whether it be police, whether it be the EMS folks. It's to help them get up and down, up and through the roads, but also keep them safe, because quite frankly, the safest place for them is at home, especially when there's adverse weather. So I'll stop on that. Ready Erie app. Not everybody, and again, it's one of those scenarios, I know it's not a perfect solution, but the Ready Erie app is a great tool for keeping up to date with road closures, travel bans, or updates that are countywide state of emergency declarations. And it's free, you can download it to your tablet, to your phone. There's a lot of good information that does come across that app. For the town, we haven't had it yet, but we were made aware that First Amendment audits were rolling through the area. First Amendment audits where a gentleman, or an individual, I shall say, would come into a public building and either try to access office spaces or otherwise. There's a lot of communication that was sent out to the staff. We're probably looking at doing a training on it as well. It can't hurt any of us, but again, these First Amendment audits, quite frankly, all it is I'll just use the new term of clickbait. They are looking to see if somebody kind of loses their cool, doesn't allow them areas. They know the Constitution, they know the town laws, and et cetera. And what they're looking to do is to identify that one person that slips up, because then it gets pushed out to YouTube and then it becomes clickbait. You're gonna go out there and click on it. So if you get enough clicks, they get money off it. So our error becomes money in their pocket. That is a First Amendment audit in the very crude terms. So that's something we'll be working on going forward. Comprehensive plan update meeting was moved from Martin Luther King Day, which is probably a good thing because of the storm, but that was moved over to next Monday here at the town hall. Anyone who, so the crew will be meeting up there. I did have a call regarding warming shelters. The town does not sadly have an area that can be deemed as a warming shelter. There's very strict FEMA and Red Cross guidelines to adhere and meet the criteria to open up the town hall, even our community room as a warming shelter. We are in the process of getting a municipal generator for the town hall. That's one of the first steps, but there are other things that we would need to kind of check that box as well to make us be able to open up as an official designated warming shelter. Because the last thing we want is to open up let's say our community room as a warming shelter where you can charge your phone, so it can use some residents are seeing it over in Orchard Park and Hamburg. Everybody comes here, our power goes out, and now we've jeopardized that health, safety, and welfare, which is your state of emergency verbiage. We've jeopardized people by bringing them into an area that we cannot keep safe, secure, warm, et cetera. So that is something that's a topic of discussion. Just wanted to share that at the board meeting that that generator's over the step in that area. That is all I have tonight. I do have an 8 o'clock meeting with the county and municipal leaders, so I'm going to make a motion to end the meeting at 8:02 p.m.
Second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.